What we have with us here today is a brand new Ram RHO. I guess it'd be like a Ram 1500 RHO. Either way, it's in this beautiful silver metallic, which means you're not going to see any swirls and scratches even if you try the hardest you can. Either way, this vehicle has been dropped off to us to get the full new car package that we kind of do for everyone, which is a full frontal PPF installation, single step correction, and then ceramic coat the rest of it, as well as we're going to be doing the wheels. And might I say, these are the best looking wheels I've seen come from any OEM manufacturer. All that and more coming up, I guess, so enjoy the video. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and move on to the paint work, and to do that we're going to be using Biltamber Touchless because there's nothing out there that's better than Biltamber to get this thing prepped and ready for a hand wash and then bring it in. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start off the paint work as usual using Biltamber Touchless because there's literally nothing... shit. Well, that happened. Whatever kind of stuff was on it from the factory, from distribution, whatever, dirt, grime, you name it, this stuff's gonna strip it off. And then once we're done foaming it down, spraying it off, we're gonna follow up with another foam cannon with normal soap in it, so that way we can brush through some crevices. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing washed up, and then when I bring it inside, I will talk to you guys then, because we've lost daylight. It's really hard to maneuver this camera around, change settings, and you get the point, all right? We're gonna finish it, then pull it in, I'll talk to you guys. Whew, that's a tight fit with the Yukon and this. Oh man. Get over here. Yeah, you think that's a tight fit? Try getting in and out of this truck while it's midway through to get those 10 shots just to make it look like it's coming in all on one go. Alright, see, this goes to show that just because it's a brand new vehicle does not mean that it's clean, okay? These vehicles are manufactured and then they are freighted or they're shipped. And many vehicles are in transit for quite a while, and then sometimes they even sit on the dealership for quite a while and they'll accumulate this nasty crap. So just because it has 30 miles on it, I don't care. It's gonna be contaminated in some way, shape, or form, some more than others, some less than others. Yep. All right, next day with the RHO. Completely washed, decontaminated, everything's good to go. Right now Jeff's putting in some tint, and then Tyler's gonna follow up with him as well and finish that tint job all the way around. And then they're gonna get started on the PPF. The PPF for this, there's not really a pattern yet. So there's gonna be some moving back and forth, which is not a big deal. Just takes a little bit of knowledge, and that kinda is something important, because a lot of times you'll see people who are just now getting the PPF, and if there's no patterns or whatever, they don't want to do the car. But the idea here is we're gonna PPF the entire front, the windows are gonna be tinted, and then I can come in and start doing my job. You done yet?
There's not a single speck of contamination in here, bro, so if you're gonna point out any windows to them, this is the ones to do it.
All right, so I'm gonna blame Tyler. No, it looks great. So now it's going to be our turn. We got to wipe this thing down with 60-40 diluted isopropyl alcohol and then do a paint inspection. Alright, so as you can see from the paint inspection, this thing's in really good shape. I mean, you would hope so, right? It's a brand new vehicle, but because it was, you know, built and then shipped around, a lot of hands have touched this thing. To the benefit of the owner, it is a silver metallic, which is going to hide almost every bit of damage or swirls or scratches that's in the paint. So you have to take my word for it, the silver is actually in really good shape except for one area on the back passenger side fender, right below the taillight. There's a little scuff mark there, and I can tell you, at least not from us, but I mean, it's not uncommon for while a vehicle is in transit being shipped around that a shipper is in a tight area trying to squeeze in to get in somewhere, or maybe something nicked it on the road. It could be anything. The bottom portions of the truck with that black metallic, that's paint, which is really cool. A lot of times you'll see that be like a trim piece. I'm really happy it's paint. It makes it really nice. The truck itself, I love this truck. I mean, I've seen Ford Raptors, I've seen a TRX, but this, I really like this. Overall, it's gonna be a really fun truck because there is enough there for me to do some work and show a really awesome after versus the before. And I know the owner's gonna love it, man. He really loves the idea of paint work and all of that and detailing, making everything nice and neat. He's an obsessed garage guy, so I know he's gonna appreciate the work that's gonna go into this truck just as much as I would and Tyler would. So let's get to it. Let's get going. Let's tape stuff up. Well, it turns out that is not scuffiness and unrefined paint. It's just not paint, which is wild. So I guess a Dodge or a Ram, if you will, is not meant for a very in-depth detailer like myself, because that's just not painted. That's just kind of where they stopped because they knew that's where the rear bumpers goes, I guess. I have no idea. But it's funny though. I just sat there and finger polished and finger polished and finger polished and nothing's happening, and I'm using very light polish. So then I tried a little lick of heavy polish, nothing changed. So I guess now we know on RHOs that behind the bumper area is where they just stopped painting. It's not really unrefined paint or anything, it just wastes time by doing it. There you go, the more you know. Alright, so the truck is finished with polishing at least. We gotta go through and finger polish a few areas, do some IPA, some toothpick rework. I will say too, I went through the rest of the exterior and hit it with some Sonax Perfect Finish and a yellow pad. I had just enough left to get through the entirety of the exterior. Not like that was a part of the budget or the job, I just had a little bit of extra time while I was waiting for things to be delivered, and so I figured, hey, you know what, might as well do it because it makes it way glossier. But this thing is turning out super nice. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've been seeing me post stuff about this as it's gone through the process, and it looks great. Especially with having tinted windows now, it looks like a totally different truck. Anyways, enough blabbering, let's go ahead and get this thing some IPA and toothpick rework, and then we can coat it. All right, time warp. The XOV5 has been delivered. So we are good to get the top coat on this thing, which kind of works out because usually I wait about a day or into the next day to go ahead and get XO on the paint after using Crystal Serum Light. Now usually when it comes to XO, I don't really talk much about this because it's just a top coat. You wipe it on, wipe it off, but I'll give you guys a couple of pointers here because this stuff can get a little bit messy. So think about it. You have a very fresh ceramic coating layer on the paint that's been laid down and you're trying to add another layer on top, right? But because it's already such a slick surface that's very hydrophobic, this stuff can get a little messy and smeary. So the way I get around that is I use a very plush high-ply microfiber towel, and then I follow up with a low-ply microfiber towel. That way this picks up really well the bulk of the product that's on the surface, and then you have a low-ply to get rid of whatever might be left that's just smudges. Now I will say this, if you're using a high-ply towel or even low-ply towel that's a very striking color, like red, like this for example, especially once they get more and more soaked up with product, you can start to have an issue where it doesn't wipe up as well, or you're leaving extra smudges or whatever because you're having another chemical introduced to the process. Especially with PPF, I would 100% not recommend using these for PPF whenever you're ceramic coating it because you could be wiping and everything's going fine, but that dye that's being left over from wiping can kind of soak itself into the pores of it and then stain the PPF. Yeah, ask me how I know about that. It's just a little thing that I've never seen really anyone on YouTube talk about, and so I figured I would mention it. If you want to see if your towel is leaching any kind of dye, go ahead, spray it down with the degreaser, and then get it really wet, and then wring it out. And if you see any dye in that water that comes out from the towel, you got a leaching towel. Now the best way to get that dye leaching to go away with the towel is to just wash it. Over time, it'll go away. These plush ones, it takes quite a few times, but most of your normal size towels like these, I mean, they're gone the very first wash. That's why almost every single pack of microfiber towels you get, it says, hey, wash me first. All right, enough jibber jabber. Let's go ahead and get to coating this thing. Well, top coating, let's get to second coating. So that's it. Now we're gonna take it outside and do some final shots. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe and all that stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one.